So I wanted to do this video. I've kind of been away for a little bit, not doing videos, just because of, you know, I needed to get away from the drama for a little bit. But I've been having a discussion with the guy, and his name's up there. And honestly, I'm tired of him. I'm sick of him. This is a guy that is a total nut job, total. And this guy just is amazing. I mean, this is a guy that believes the Illuminati is real. Believes that UFOs, you know, have come to visit us. He believes that the Masons have ruined the Bible. Believes that the King James Version is the only true version of the Bible. Even though I did point out to him that King James was a Mason, that most of his court were Masons. The guy who actually printed the first King James Bibles was also a Mason. And this guy just doesn't get it. He constantly, you know, he changes his story. He quote mines. He, you know, I mean, logical fallacies left, right, and center. And then he claims victory. I mean, I had to point out to him, is if he really, this is a guy who has a website that makes the claim that, you know, that any Bible besides the King James Bible is evil. Even though most of the article that he wrote was about the NIV Bible, which is, to anybody who knows anything about Bibles knows that the NIV is really just a really badly translated version of the Bible. Okay? I mean, I quoted, I sent him other versions of the Bible, certain quote, you know, certain, like one particular that he had done. This is this great source out of Canada, that if you put in a Bible quote, it'll give you like 20 different Bibles version of that same Bible quote. Okay? It'll give you the NIV, it'll give you the King James, it'll give you the American King James. It'll give you, you know, 20, you know, I mean, you know, it gives you the Webster's version of the Bible. It gives you the Young's literal translation of the Bible. And all kinds of other versions. And guess what? Most of them are pretty much right along the line of what King James says. But yet, the Masons, who, of course, had way more to do with the King James Bible than any other Bible out there, of course, they're out there doing all this stuff. And I sit here and I point all this shit out to him, and he claims victory? Moronic. I mean, it just amazes me. I mean, it just amazes me. This is the last thing. You are just angry that I always prove you wrong. You don't prove me wrong. In fact, every time you've brought something up, I come out and give you evidence from your own bleeding book that shows you to be wrong. You never have good answers for anything. I give you direct quotes. Okay, I go out and prove everything that I've said, and you think I'm not giving, you are giving me nothing. Okay, you're only doing this because you know you're wrong. I'm not wrong. Okay, I spent years studying this shit. Okay, you know God is real. No, He's not. And you can't prove. To do that is another logical fallacy. You're saying that I'm not, you know, I don't believe in God because you think I don't believe in God. You know, because you think that I don't believe in God because I know God's real and I'm angry at God. I can't. Please. Okay. You know the Bible is true. It's a book. It's historical fiction. You see the proof I have shown you. You haven't shown me any proof. The one time that I said, show me proof, you showed me a Bible quote. And this is when this whole King James thing came into play. Reason? Because I said I wanted proof, so you showed me quotes that had proof in it. And guess what? I then turned around and showed you other versions, including the King James, that didn't say proof, it said evidence. You reject it all because you choose to. No! I reject it all because there's evidence to say that it's not real. If you end up going to hell, just remember you wanted to go there. Hell is not real. It's made up by Christians. The Jews, who were the founders of your faith, your Jesus was a Jew. He didn't believe in hell. Okay, if he was real, he was a Jew and didn't believe in hell. They also don't believe in heaven. But do you know that? No. I'm totally done with you, because it doesn't. I could tell you 5,000 things under the sun, and guess what? All you're going to do is sit there and go, well, this, and well, that, and God, and God, and God. And you know what? You're a total bleeding moron idiot who I can't have a rational discussion with. I love rational discussions. I love rational debates. I can sit here and have a rational debate. I present you evidence, you see me counter evidence. Nuh-uh is not counter evidence. And that's pretty much what you've given me. No, it's not, is not counter evidence. So until you can actually have a real debate, I'm done with you. And anybody who wants to have a real debate with me, I've challenged people to debate me out here. They're not willing to take me up. And I'm not going to have a debate with somebody that their entire arguments are either logical fallacies, conspiracy theories, or You want to have a debate? Debate me on the facts. When you keep saying that the Masons have changed the Bible from there on, and I can show you plenty of Bibles that show that they didn't do that, guess what? That's evidence. I win. Is not an argument. When I show you evidence that King James was a Mason, is not good enough. You have to go out and show me proof that King James wasn't a Mason. Because if your whole contention is that the Bible was corrupted because of Masons, and King James and the people around him, including the guy who printed the damn book, were Masons, then you know what? You're wrong. Is not an argument. Quote mining is not an argument. That's a logical fallacy. Appeal to authority. Okay? You are doing. I can go through the list of logical fallacies, and I guarantee I can take every single thing you said and probably link it up to some logical fallacy. Okay. When I go out and when I quote something, I go and I look at what was said before it and what was said after it to make sure what it says is what it actually says and not something else. I also go and I check to see if there's actual proof behind the evidence, not some web page that you put up with no other evidence than what you think. Is not an argument.